Welcome into Extra Time. Definitely the most serious part of the show here on ESPN FC. We take your questions if you want to get them to us. Hashtag FC Extra Time. And I'm telling you, the questions today, boys, you're going to love them.
I thought we did Extra Time earlier.
No, Stevie, that was the
show. Was that a show?
That's the show. I'm trying to tell people how different Extra Time is from the show. You don't even realize when we're in one and not the other.
No.
This is from Howard. Petr Cech isn't a very good goalkeeper anymore. Is he? Certainly not after today's action.
He's definitely had his ups and downs this year, and I think he'd be the first to say that he's not at the level where he was.
Agree?
Yeah. Remember the level he was
Yep.
was there, so...
It's that power step. It doesn't seem to get across as quickly.
Ultra FCB wants to know, if Barcelona win the Copa del Rey and La Liga, will their season be considered a success considering how bad the previous summer was? Let's go out to Sid on this one. What do you think, Sid?
Yeah, their season will be considered a success, no doubt about it, if they win a double. But the defeat in Rome weighs very, very heavily. And the other thing, and this is always the case in Spain, is that part of the way their season is judged in the end will be conditioned by what happens in the Champions League. If Real Madrid were to win the Champions League, then of course that will impact upon the way that Barcelona's season is looked at. But bottom line, if you win a double, it's a successful season, particularly a successful season given that they're currently unbeaten in the league. Imagine they get to the very end and finish a league season unbeaten. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's not impossible anymore. That certainly would be seen as something really quite big.
Yeah, but they lost to Roma. Kush wants to know, this is for you. Do people accuse you of being a Liverpool homer on Twitter? Do they accuse you of that?
Accuse?
Of course they do.
Kush, who would you have in your team with the current form? Cristiano Ronaldo or Mohamed Salah?
Ooh.
Oh.
Sorry, are we really thinking about this?
I mean, think about
It's Ronaldo. Come on.
Hold on a second. We're talking
Also, his current form. Well, his current form is pretty good.
Yeah, Mohamed Salah's crap, isn't he?
No, I didn't say that. Nobody said that, man.
The thing is,
Hold on a second.
It's an interesting question.
Hold on a second. So Cristiano Ronaldo, and I'm not going to give an opinion here. I'm going to give some facts.
Okay.
Since the start of the season, the only thing Mohamed Salah has done is score goals.
Okay. Fact. True.
Fact. Since the start of the season, the only thing that Cristiano's done in the first half was not score goals. Okay?
Yeah.
In the quarterfinals of the Champions League, Cristiano Ronaldo scored the most important goal in the tie. Fact.
Where's he going?
In the quarterfinals of the Champions League, Mohamed Salah scored the most important goal.
So they're even, and you would take Salah.
And the question is, right now.
Right. But you're talking about the first half of the season like it's right now. You're being very selective with recent form.
There has to be a tiebreaker.
I'm confused.
If you want an answer to the question,
I'm confused.
there has to be a tiebreaker.
Who are you choosing?
here. Can I help you?
No, let him answer.
Just leave him alone.
No.
Leave him alone. What were you going to say, Gab? Before you were so rudely interrupted.
What I was going to humbly suggest is he didn't specify if it's for Liverpool. You can make an argument that given Jurgen Klopp's style of play and the high energy, high pressing, maybe Mohamed Salah is more suited to that. And if it was Real Madrid, you might go with Cristiano Ronaldo.
I'm trying to help him.
I've always said we should have Gab on this show more. I've always said that.
And the question was for your team, and if the question's aimed at Steve, your team is Liverpool, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
the answer is
could be the
Salah.
Reds. Who'd you rather have at the Reds?
I think Sid has actually ensconced the answer.
Yes.
Gab laid the huge foundation, and Seb ensconced the answer. Mohamed Salah. In Liverpool's team.
So
I think Mohamed Salah
is better than
suits
Ronaldo
Liverpool's team as opposed to Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yep. So you definitely won't get any people on Twitter calling you a Liverpool homer
no,
after that answer.
Not a chance.
Sway Z, why do the ESPN FC crew get defensive when United fans say they have an agenda? But here's the real good part of the tweet. Is it because they do have an agenda? Do you have an agenda, Gab?
Yeah. It's a classic sort of, if I can refer you back to Catch-22, Joseph Heller. You know, how he's got the conundrum about how
This is deep into extra time weeds right now.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No. It's the idea that you being in the army, you have to be insane, and then you have to pretend you're insane to get out of the army. I don't remember very well. Look it up.
Clearly.
But the point is, it's something you cannot disprove one way or the other, is it?
No.
If you had an agenda, we couldn't tell you.
Do you think we have an agenda?
In any case, are we talking defensiveness here?
Yeah. Do you feel we're a defensive crew?
No, what's more defensive? The ESPN crew, of which I suppose I have to include myself, saying, no, we're not.
Suppose.
Or the Manchester United fan getting all weenie and wipey and moany and defensive about the fact that someone says something nasty about Manchester United. That's defensive.
The United fans, that's at Sid Lowe on Twitter.
At
Sid Lowe.
Defending the indefensible there.
Guys, I'm just having a hard time keeping up with what you're
It's
talking
in line,
about.
though, with his agenda. So.
Yes. We have one more here from Cigar. Is Champions League now all about attack, 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 and no defense at all? And maybe does that explain some of these crazy comebacks we're seeing?
No, probably if he wanted defense, he could have looked at the Bayern Munich versus Sevilla game this week. There wasn't a lot of attack, attack, attack there.
What do you think?
But
I mean, you always talk about how defense is now
I
terrible.
don't think that you could turn around and say no. For the last decade, defending has gone out the window. There's no pride in it anymore. There's nobody thinks when they lose a goal. It used to be when you lost a goal, every single person on the team would look at themselves and think, like, was I part of that? Could I do anything about that? Now it almost seems like, well, they're pretty good, the other team going forward. So we need to try and go forward now and score. There's no responsibility.
Nobody thinks
defending
a team
anymore
is good if they can't attack. That's fact.
Well, I mean,
even though there's teams like you look at the fact that a lot of Italian teams are based on a defending principle, and everybody's like, oh, I don't like watching Italian soccer anymore because it's not attack, attack, attack. And I think that's sort of crept in across the way people view soccer in teams. And certainly teams have been built to attack, attack, attack.
What I would say, though, is it's been a trend Europe-wide, because you mentioned, in Italy, Roma and Napoli are certainly two extremely attack-minded sides. And you look back even on the European stage, I'd say in the last 10 years, with the one obvious glaring exception of Atletico Madrid, and to some degree perhaps Juventus at times, most of the teams, they're teams that go out and they press high and they're more comfortable. They're certainly more comfortable attacking rather than hunkering down and defending. And you could argue in the Premier League as well, whether it's Spurs or Liverpool or City. Should probably include United so people don't think I have an agenda, but these are pretty attack-minded teams.
How much does this have to do with money? Because all these clubs, except for Manchester United, spend all this money to bring in all this high-end, most of it attacking, in a lot of cases attacking talent. So that's where
you're using United as an example.
Oh, no, I'm saying United is the one that you...
We sat and slaughtered them all season.
That's what I'm saying.
Sitting on the edge of the boat.
But you pay to bring in all these talent. You have all this offensive talent that's concentrated. That's probably why we see this, right? 30 years ago, there wasn't the difference in spending that we see now.
Yeah, but it's not like if you spend $100 million on a defender who's worth $50 million, he becomes a $100 million defender. It doesn't become twice as good. I think he's under more pressure, and we have this impression that defenders are all bad these days, because a lot of times, because you've got teams pressing high, so that means that either defenders get caught out or they're pressing at the other end of the pitch. So there's a big ball over the top and they have to defend one-on-one. And when that happens, you end up looking silly. I mean, I think it's mostly a tactical shift. And incidentally, with all of these defenders supposedly being terrible, if you look at the number of goals scored, it's pretty much been unchanged for the last 30 years.
There's also a difference in the quality of the fields. I mean, you can actually play this type of attractive soccer consistently because the ball's not bouncing up to your knee, where in the past, it was.
Sid, give us a Spanish perspective here. Is defending dead in La Liga?
Well, I'll give you my perspective and then the Spanish one. Obviously, if it is all attack, 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 on one level at least, great. Isn't it better that way? In Spain, it's certainly true that there is if you like, kind of a cultural connection to playing attacking football, but Atletico Madrid have changed that, I think, up to a point. Real Madrid's kind of counter-attacking style with Mourinho shifted it a little bit, which isn't to say they weren't attacking, because they were, but they were doing it from different parts of the pitch. I think it's absolutely true that the pitches are much better. It's easier to play creative attacking football. The refereeing makes a difference as well. I don't think there's any doubt about that. If players are given the freedom, the time to play, or at least players are punished when they go through attackers, that makes a difference as well. But in Spain, I think there is a cultural, if you like, a kind of a commitment to playing good football. The problem is, how do you define good football? And that becomes a bit of an ideological battleground at times.
Coaches, there is absolutely no question in my mind. The coaches today coach attack. They don't coach defending. And the greatest example.
Are you thinking about one in particular?
The greatest example is all the best teams who are vulnerable defensively defend from the front incredibly. I'm talking about closing high pressure, but they all do it well. They're showing people to where the bodies are. They're actually getting close to the ball. So they clearly spend time on that. They clearly don't spend time with fullbacks, particularly, on how to close the ball and stop somebody crossing the ball in the box. It's so obvious, it's frightening.
You're talking about Arsenal, you could be Stuart Robson saying that.
You gonna be back tomorrow?
No.
You're gone. You're gone.
I've just
No, I'm
decided
back.
that
You're
tomorrow
back.
I'm
You're gone.
In fact, I'm not coming back.
Ever.
I've just decided. See you later. All the
Nagel
best.
has retired.
That's it.
The breaking news here on Extra Time. Dan will be back.
I wish I had a microphone. I could just go like that. See you later, bosh.
Mic drop, it's called.
Yeah.
Mike, no, whatever it is.
Dan will be back. Full reaction to the Champions League semi-final draw. Don't miss it. Check your local listings, ESPN FC.